Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for the third and unfortunately final turn of this playthrough of the Heroes of Normandy Khan expansion scenario, Safari in Normandy. Now I say it's the final turn because as you can see my family have been incredibly gracious about the fact that Heroes has taken up the entirety of the dining table for an enormous chunk of the weekend, and my political credit has understandably run out. I mean, to be perfectly honest, if I was them, I would say the same thing. But I'll try and make it a stonker of a third turn, and we will see how close we get to ejecting the Germans from the chateau. Now, those of you who watched my previous video would have been appalled by my complete lack of tactical acumen. I mean, who throws Shermans and Cromwells head on against Panthers? I'd love to say certainly not me, but that would be a lie. So to help me out tonight, I have invited along my really good friend and tactical genius, Ian Creasy.
Hello, people.
To help me out. Thank you so much, Ian. So while I'm going to be focusing mainly on the map as I do in these situations, Ian's going to be the angel at my back, guiding my movements and taking full responsibility for victory or defeat. Thank you very much, Ian.
I thought I was just taking responsibility for the defeats and you get the glory.
Something like that, something like that. So anyway, just to fill you guys in on what the tactical situation was at the end of the last game. So we've pretty much made contact all along the line. I have a Sherman up there which can't claim the crate, sadly, but can stop the Germans from doing it. And I'm hoping that that will be able to pull a flanker. My poor Firefly is in a terrible state, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to withdraw this turn. I think some judicious reversing might be in order. Further close on the British right, we have an equally problematic situation where my command Sherman, ouch, is going head to head against a very angry Panther. Although my Cromwell may be able to help mitigate that problem. My infantry have been hanging back so far because the aforementioned reasons. I can't really risk losing too many of them because I'm going to need them to clear the Germans out of that building. The Germans, meanwhile, have been playing a pretty good defense. The AI, as always, is a pretty tough customer. So the tanks have been deployed in good blocking positions. They're not really worried about my universal carrier, which has broken through on the other side, because, I mean, aside from annoying the infantry, what can it do? It can't really take the building. I'm actually hoping it will help me scout out the exposed German troops, just so I have an idea of what's what. And of course, at the end of the supply phase last turn, the hidden unit in the house was revealed because I have units within 2 hexes of it, technically speaking. That one is not revealed because there's an annoying hedge in the way. So that's where we are. So it is the start of the turn. This will be of interest to Ian because you've never seen the solo mode in play before, have you? Right. So in addition to giving me awesome tactical advice, watch and learn. So the first thing that happens in a solo mode turn is that the AI draws an action card, and they've got second chance in this case.
Oh, why that deck and not that deck?
That's the action deck, and that's the reaction deck.
Right,
you'll see how that works in a second. So that is a really awesome card because it gives the AI a reroll, and it is so good it may actually be worth. Oh, I don't know. They already have a firing bonus, a burst into action card, and they have communication scrambled. Oh, okay. Actually, because the order is undefined, the AI could play communication scrambled to get rid of one of my order tokens, my highest one, so he can play that, and he can then keep that. Ouch. So already I have to ditch that, and I give an order to 1 fewer unit this turn. Really not helpful in a 6-turn game where I have an incredibly difficult objective to seize. So he's done that to me. Now I finally get to have my orders phase. Thank you very much, AI. So I've got these cards. Now, that will be useful. I'll show Ian what it is in a minute, but I'm just waving it in front of the camera so you guys can see it. Because I have a tank with a suppress token that it needs to lose. Now, and this is where I'm going to rely on your tactical assistance, Ian, we have 4 orders tokens and many units that are crying out for instructions. Now, my instinct is to prioritize the Sherman up there for an order.
He really needs to help out the Firefly and come in and get a flank shot on this Panther.
Right, let's give him order token number 1 then. My second instinct is to give the Cromwell number 2. Or maybe we should try and get him out of there.
I think you definitely need to give him number 2, because
Right.
if this Sherman doesn't help him out, he needs to get out of there.
He's a very dead tank, isn't he? Actually, do you think we should invert the order maybe? Because that one's in far less danger than he is.
I don't know. It depends how brave you're feeling. I would say, I take it. Can our tank not go across that square?
It can. It causes annoyance to smaller things, but our tank can cross that rubble, no problem.
Because I was saying, you probably, you know what they say. You've seen Kelly's Heroes, haven't you?
Oh yes, good point. All right.
Is that Sherman can get into position to give it one up the rear?
Yes, absolutely. So my next best choices are, we've got young Private Banks here with a flamethrower, and it's really tempting to have him go up to that building and wipe out that German recon squad. Alternatively...
Can he not do it? Can he do it from his position?
No, I'm afraid you have to be adjacent to an opening. If they were in open ground, he could have happily toasted them from there.
No, is he better to come there? Because if he goes there, he can be got at by whoever's here.
That is a very good point. Yes, that is. And actually, if he goes there, he can still see whoever's.
Yeah, because then if he goes there, he's 2 squares away.
Yeah, although we just need to make sure. Yes, the line of sight is not interrupted by the corner of the building.
From any point of that square?
It's from the middle of the square.
Is it from the middle?
Middle to middle. So technically, he's outside the structure of the house.
Yeah, if you can see across that corner, you're not across the red line. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can do 2 things.
If you're saying he can see across there, then yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? Shall we give him number 3, or shall we give the Cromwell number 3? Because
Panther's a problem, isn't it?
That Panther is a serious problem.
Nah, give the Cromwell number 3.
Cromwell is number 3. And now the painful decision, our final order token. Who do we favour that Sherman, or do we have Private Banks try and do something?
No, you really the German armour needs to be dealt with before you can do anything else, really, doesn't it?
I agree. Yes, let's give the Command Sherman number 4. So we've issued our orders, and I've readied the German token. So it's the end of the orders phase. So I am going to play God Save the King, which thankfully removes...
Oh, stand firm.
Yeah. All suppressed tokens from my forces, in this case only the 1 on that tank, disappear.
I can't remember from the last time that I played Heroes of Normandy. Does the suppressed token stop it from doing stuff? Gives it plus actions or that?
Yeah, you can't move, you don't exert a zone of control, and you get a -2 penalty to your firing. And it's cumulative. You can build up suppressed tokens over several turns. So if you've collected 6 suppression tokens, you're in a really bad way. Ordinarily, you only lose 1 of them at the end of a turn.
All right, unless you can get one of those cards.
Yeah. So now we get straight into the activation phase. So what we would normally do is we would activate our Sherman, but the way that the solo game works, the Germans react. So
immediately.
Yeah, so you declare you're activating your unit. I'll move the camera up so folks can see what I'm wildly waving at. We're going to activate Sherman 1, and the German AI is going to react.
For the rest of the turn, you cannot play any action cards.
No!
That's us. We can't play any action cards.
I'm afraid so. Oh, that is
for the rest of the turn.
For the rest of the turn.
Ouch.
You wicked, wicked people. Ow. That's. I'll just put that there as a reminder.
Oh, that's a...
Oh Lord, do I have a no card? Because I could have stopped that if I had one of those Churchillian no cards. Oh,
No.
so for the rest of the turn, we have been deprived of our options.
Damn.
Damn indeed.
We're going in naked.
Pretty much. Never mind. Never mind. We're made of stern stuff. So you reckon we should hook round him and put around into his stern?
Either his stern or his flank.
There's only I think we'll have to be flank, because looking at that Sherman stats, it doesn't enjoy moving fire.
So where's the... Oh, right. Where's the movement? Oh, I forget where the figure's on there.
So that's its anti-armour rating.
Oh, the ones that read its
+4.
anti-armour.
No, that's against infantry, against light vehicles,
right,
against
that's
heavy. But
And movement is the one in the blue arrow.
that's
before.
right, yeah. So looking at this tank, I'm just going to remind everyone by waving it in front of the camera. We have no moving fire unless we use the machine gun, which isn't going to do a blind bit of good against that horrible thing.
Hello, we're here.
Yeah. However, we do have line of sight to its rear end from where we are, so I think maybe just firing and hoping for the best.
Do we... Does it... I don't know if it makes any difference to the game. Do we want to present the front of our hull to it?
We could do, but if we move, we can't fire.
Oh, right. You can't even...
No.
Right, okay.
So
Definitely pop one in its
we'll
flank.
pop one in. So Ian, if you care to do the honours, you roll a dice and add 4.
I like the snazzy... I like my snazzy dice.
Yes, of course, Ian is the generous friend who lent me the game. So yes, your snazzy dice, Ian. Roll away. Ooh.
That's not good. Only 1 star.
So we got a total of 5. Its side armour is 8.
Ooh.
So inside the buttoned-up panther, you can hear the laughter.
Is that Blink? Hello, Mr.
Yeah,
Panzer Driver, we're
we
here.
might as well be a 37mm. Oh,
Panzer Knocker.
oh, England.
dear.
What
Sorry,
have we done?
folks.
We've let down the country. We've let down the king.
I'll never be able to go back to Blighty.
Oh, well, never mind. Well, the good news for us is the Germans did not place any order tokens because of the nature of the AI system. So we get to activate our second vehicle, which is our little slightly damaged and traumatized
How
tank.
damaged are we?
Well, we've only taken a hull hit, but if we take a second one of those, we die, basically.
Ouch.
So, however, we declare we're activating it, and the Germans react.
Oh, again.
So we get suppressive fire from one unit to another. Now, it should normally be blindingly obvious which German unit wants to suppress which British unit. Now, the people in this house have a choice. They can... Oh, wait, actually, that's suppressive fire. I think you may need a machine gun for that. Oh, yes, it has to be a unit with the suppressive fire ability, which the Germans have choices
Is that
about.
one of these tanks?
The Panther can do it, but that makes no sense. The other thing is, the rules always remind
Does the
you.
Stug not have an MG?
It does, yes, the Stug. If the Stug is willing to chance that the Panther will kill that tank, it can use its MG to suppress that British unit over there.
If I was a Stug commander, I wouldn't be that confident.
No. I mean, the
So
alternative...
the answer to that is no.
No. So we've got to find a German unit that can do it. So now none of their machine guns are activated. What you can do is you can assign it to a counter and voluntarily give it the order and reveal it and see if it's capable of doing it. So that unit can see.
I think if I was the Stug or the Panther, I'd be slightly more concerned with that Firefly than anything else.
In that case, yeah, that makes sense. So now they're not capable of suppression fire.
Right, so recon trip with no MGs.
Well, they're only a light recon unit.
Cool.
So what we can do is assign it to the unit that does have line of sight and see whether it's able to do it.
I thought the Germans had MG 34s and 42s coming out their ears.
Well, clearly not in that unit.
As in 2 per section, as opposed to 1 per section in the British section.
Well, you'll have to take that up with the designers, I'm afraid, because they don't have an MG. So
Okay.
I would say because it's the only one with decent infantry targets that doesn't
Yeah.
want to shoot at
Yeah.
something else.
If you can do it, give it to that one.
So we turn it out. It is a unit,
Ooh.
so we get to see who it is now.
Unit or eunuch?
Unit.
Sorry, folks. Sorry, lowering the tone. Sorry.
So, Ian, if you stick your hand in the bag
one at random, is it?
it's one at random, and we see who we get.
Oh, what we get? Oh, you please know it's an MG42.
No! Oh, that's the worst possible thing it could be. Ian, you are no longer drawing. And of course you play to the most advantageous for the AI players, so they are deployed and ready to shoot. So the next question we have to ask is, does it want to try and suppress one or both of those units?
I think if I was at MG...
Actually, it's got no line of sight to him, because so he can only see them.
In that case, that's who I'd go for.
So they roll a dice and add 4. Again, do you wish to do the honours?
Special German dice.
Yep. 6. And
is that dangerous to it?
yeah, let me just check suppression, because I think they get a bonus for that, and I can't remember. Oh, actually, I got it wrong. They can do suppressive fire, but they don't double. But actually, as that's turned out better for the Germans, we'll keep that.
Yeah.
So they double their firepower to 8. So 8 plus 2 for 10.
That puts him in trouble, doesn't it?
7. The British Bren section
So how
is
are they
suppressed.
doubling it up now?
So it's their defensive value plus the defensive...
Which is the 5?
Yeah, plus the defensive value of the
so
bocage.
7.
So 7. Now they got a 10, which very convincingly suppresses us. So the only consolation we get is there's now an activated marker placed on that MG42. Do you know what? I'm tempted to flame somebody else next turn.
What, the machine gun team?
Yeah, but we haven't given him an order token, so it's not going to happen.
Does that happen in the units that don't get order tokens? At the end of the turn, is there like a... I forget now. There was like a phase where units that weren't given orders could move, but they couldn't fire.
That's the supply phase, and you're absolutely right. They can move but not fire. But I'm afraid the German reaction isn't over, because having suppressed one of us, he also gets to give an order token to another of his units. Now, you use your common sense and you give the German the most advantageous one. But in this case, if there's a tie, you give the order to whichever unit is most likely to be able to use it. So they have choices.
Well, personally, I'd give it to the panther to shoot the firefly.
Yeah. However, you can't assign it to a unit that runs the risk of being destroyed imminently. Now, because it's a regular order, the German can't play it until after we've taken our turn. So
Does the same apply to the Stug as well?
No, because we haven't declared our target yet, so they could be lucky, or they could bank on a sure thing and give it to that panther that is down here. So I'm thinking, given the risks those two face, it might be worth them giving it to him so he can bag our command Sherman.
Right.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Okay, we shall give him that order token then. Now our Sherman can take his turn. So what are we going to do?
Has he got to do his shot from there? Because
well, he could either shoot or withdraw.
His movement's 4.
His movement's 7.
Oh, 7. I was going.
Oh no, his movement is.
It's 4.
Oh, his movement is 4. Sorry, I lie. Actually, do you know
can he
what?
Maneuver into
I've
into
just
a flank
realised
shot?
this is very embarrassing. I've been using the incorrect movement rates for the tanks. I've been dashing them when I haven't been able to do that. Yeah. I am such a muppet. Do you know what? I really need my eyes checked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've actually been shortchanging the poor German, so I really do deserve to lose this one.
Right, you are. Just look at the scenarios. On the face of it, I mean, I've only just really come into this, but 6 turns, it's not giving you a lot of scope for manoeuvre, is it?
No, it's not, even with me unintentionally cheating with the tanks.
And judging by all the question marks there, you've got a lot of potentially Germans to wheedle out.
Yeah. Oh dear. I'm going to have to stick apologies in the descriptions for these.
Because I'm sure somebody else would have noticed that.
Oh, they will. They'll notice very quickly. So.
Right.
But it's good though. I love the community on YouTube. They're very good at gently pointing out my idiot errors without being too unkind about it.
Can he turn on the spot?
He can, yes.
I didn't know if he could manoeuvre himself. He's got 4. So is that classed as 1?
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. But he can't then shoot because he can't.
Oh, of course, no. I think he's going to have to do it from there then. No, he can't afford not to take the shot, can he?
Yeah, I mean, the question is, does he want to try shooting at the Stug or does he want to try shooting at the Panther?
So you'd have to explain the stats to me again on this. I would have said, historically, the Panther's more of a threat.
Yeah, it's got frontal armour of 10 and he's got armour penetration of 5. So, or a firing strength
So
of
it's
5.
RD6 plus
So
that.
you need to equal or exceed the defensive rating.
God, so we're needing to roll a 5 on
A 5 or better. So it's
that's
quite
a big ask, isn't it?
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think our odds are?
Not good. Not good. That's hard. It depends how much of a gambler you are, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Trouble is, does the same apply to the Panther? If we manoeuvre for a flank shot, okay, we might not be out of fire, but then he's... Oh no, he could do just...
He can traverse his turret and blow us away.
Or do we reverse out and try and hide behind these bushes?
I mean, we could do that because then we'd force him to manoeuvre on a future turn because he can't move and fire either.
He knows we're the other side of that bush, but he doesn't know whereabouts.
Yeah, he has to actually come and find us.
It's tempting to stay there and sort of get a shot off, but or it's either that, or you risk knowing that you're potentially going to lose him. But you try the frontal armour on that Stug is 6, is it?
It's 9 actually.
Oh, was it 9? Sorry, I'm looking at it the wrong way. Sorry, 9. Crikey, it's not...
That's okay. I can't judge. I've been getting armour and speed ratings mixed up on my tanks this whole time and never noticed.
So that Sherman Firefly targeting that, it's only a marginally better shot than the Panther.
Yeah.
You really need to get them in the flank or the rear, don't you?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad plan. The only reason I did that was because I thought my combination of a weak point card and a move and shoot burst into action card would carry the day, and it unfortunately did not turn out.
You're probably a bit more of a gambler than me, aren't you? I'd probably think I'd try and manoeuvre for a better shot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a massive gambler on these things.
I would manoeuvre for a better shot, but I mean, I'm happy to go with whatever you want. I think you've massively cheated to get this far up the board.
I have, yes. Actually, it's been a complete wipeout, really, because my mishandling of the tanks has completely skewed the game, even though the chances are the Germans will win it anyway. The only reason the Germans didn't move so far is because I was playing them very cautiously and defensively, because at the end of the day, they're sitting on the objective, so they don't really need to be too aggressive.
Well, I guess they're not currently in an offensive, are they? They've been given orders to hold this strategic spot, haven't they?
Yeah, pretty
much.
much.
They're not going to stray too far from it unless they've got an obvious target.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd possibly manoeuvre just maybe set up a future flank shot. Trouble is, you couldn't come any further than here, could you? Because obviously his turret, he's got this gap covered, isn't he?
He does, yeah. So he's basically doing what he needs to do. He's acting as a very effective blocking force.
I mean, a Panther or a Tiger in a defensive position was practically really hard to get a wheel out. That's why anybody's watched the film Fury, which is why they manoeuvred the 75s to try and tease the Tiger out of its defensive position.
Yeah. So
that Fury could get a better shot at it.
Yeah. So the question is, do we chance a shot against its front or do we leg it?
Bloody hell! Mind you, what you've done, you're on turn 3 already, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you got the time to waste to get a better shot?
Well, again, this is it, really. I mean, I don't know. The only good thing is that it's keeping the German armour distracted. Maybe at some point I could sneak some infantry past to start tackling that building.
Where is all our infantry? Is this it? What does he here?
Yeah, basically. It's we really don't have much in this scenario.
They've not really given you a lot of infantry, considering you've got to take a building, have they?
No. And bearing in mind, quite a few of these will be dummy counters, but even so, that's
when I looked at all them question marks, I thought, blaming Nora.
That's a lot of apparent strength, isn't it? Yeah. But
okay. Do you want to go for it? Then? Are you feeling?
I'm a gambler.
You're a Kenny Rogers, aren't
and
you?
it's the final turn of the game before I have to pack it up. So let's do it. Go on, Ian. I believe in you.
You should have seen my dice rolling on Friday night, folks. Oh, 3 stars.
Ooh,
Does that help?
that's 8. Nope, it bounces off his armour, but it was worth a try. It was worth a try. So, moving further down the board, and I can zoom in now because, again, everyone, I cannot apologise enough. I cannot believe I did that with the armour and the movement ratings. What a muppet.
So what is it? That's its defensive thing.
That is its defensive
You were
rating.
using its defensive score as its
I
movement.
know. I'm never going to live this one down, ever.
Call yourself a game reviewer.
Well, you know, it's not too late for me to delete the whole series, but actually I'll keep them because I bet people are laughing their socks off and getting a really good, amount of comedic value out of this.
Oh, we're only human, aren't we?
Yeah, well, that's so I tell myself frequently. Right, so we're going to activate this Cromwell, but before we do...
Oh, the Germans get to
the
react.
Germans are going to say 9, and somebody is going to shoot at us now.
What are they shooting at us?
Whatever they like, really. Now, it doesn't have to be someone reacting to the Cromwell. Someone up here could take someone further north, for instance, could take a shot. But again, you make a judgment call. If I were the Germans, I would expect they're going to come after me. However, they don't have a perfect line of sight because of the edge, but they can.
Can he not target that one?
Yeah, I've just realised I've made another mistake. We shouldn't have activated that yet because it's the Germans' turn now and they have a token
Put it
on
back.
that. So I'm going to put it back. That never happened.
Folks.
That never happened. So it's his turn and he has a choice. Well, he has a couple of choices. He could blast the Sherman that's right in front of him.
Well, that's what I would do.
Yeah, or he could come down here and line himself up to deal with the Cromwell. But to be honest, go for the Sherman is the better bet.
All day long.
Plus, it deprives me of a command point if he blows it up.
So what does he need? What's he using?
He gets a +5.
I can never remember what all of these. That's obviously the armour against armour, yeah.
Yeah, that's against buildings. That's his demolish rating, and that means penetration. So if he scores a hit against gets through your armour, it has a higher chance of wrecking your tank.
Right, and these numbers down here. It's...
Against infantry, against light vehicles, against heavy vehicles.
Oh, so whatever I rolled on this D6 against that 5 has to equal or better the 8 on that command Sherman. Okay.
Oh, they rolled a 1. That's actually very good news. Their shot, miraculously, I won't say it bounced off a Sherman's armour because that sounds very wrong, but let's just say they got a glancing hit that just pinged off in another direction.
On Panther? Was it a high velocity 75 on a Panther?
Can't remember now, actually.
Definitely high velocity, but I want to say it's a 75. It's not.
Oh, I'll have to look it up. I don't know if it was an 88 on a
Panther. It's high velocity anyway.
Okay, so he at least has taken his turn now.
Missed. So totally fluffed his shot.
There it is.
Yep.
So he fluffed his shot, thank God.
Right, now it is our turn.
Now we would have done that, and now we're back with the uncomfortable choice we have to make as to which German unit shoots at us.
At least he can't fire.
Yeah, but they can.
I would have said that Panther would have a shot at our Sherman.
He may as well. Shall he go for it then? Make a roll and...
Has he got many buffs?
It's +5 to
No, I didn't know. Is a German able to use any of those cards?
Let's see. Oh, he does get a... Oh, yes, good point. Thanks for the reminder. He does get a firing bonus, so you can have +1 to that.
Oh, right.
And
I know I should remember these things,
Yeah, it's a... And he got a 6. Ooh, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think he penetrates it. So roll again for damage.
Sorry, folks.
No, it's all right. So he got another 3. He's got the +1 for penetration, but it's another of those hits. So he turns the Firefly into flaming wreckage.
Oh dear.
And that hasn't ended very well for us, has it?
Sorry for all you British Army loving folks out there.
Oh, well, could have maybe been worse. I don't know. Yeah, it's... Okay.
This is a moment where we play that. I forget the title of the song. The Battle of the Bulge song, where all the Germans give an old foot stomping Panzer song.
Oh yes, yes. So okay.
Oh dear.
So never mind, never mind. So we have. Oh yes, there's another thing on their reaction card.
Oh,
they get
God.
to issue another order. So who are they going to give their
So
next?
he's activated, isn't he?
He's
Does he
activated.
need a-
He has a token.
I would give it to the Stug. Oh no, do we give it to the Stug?
Well, it's based around what the most logical option for the AI is. Like I've said in previous videos, the detailed logic trees are only there when you need a tiebreaker. But in something like this, if there's a blindingly obvious move that the Germans should make, then go for it.
I'm assuming the Stug is really it's an anti-tank gun he's got there, really, isn't it? Is he capable of firing against infantry?
Oh yes, he can make a mess of infantry if he wants to.
They're already suppressed.
Yeah, he could attempt to murderize them if he wanted to.
I would probably give it to them. Can they suppress them?
They could potentially, or he could just try and outright kill him.
Yeah, I'd give it. Well, I'd give it to them and either shoot or suppress, one of the two.
Okay, so they'll get their order token, which they'll be able to do after our Cromwell has done his thing. So now Cromwell's can move and shoot. So I'm thinking we could.
Does the German get to go first though?
No, because all they could do is issue the order, and then it follows the sequence of play.
Oh right, okay. I just saw two. I thought, does he go before R3?
Yeah, no, we do get to take the turn with R3 now.
Right. Okay. In that case, can he put a round into the flank of that Panther?
He can if he nudges himself forward one. I'd also be reluctant to get too close to that building in case that's a unit with a pan. Yeah, they do have a couple of Panzer Shreks sprinkled in this force.
Does that count as moving fire though?
Yes, but Cromwell's can move and fire.
Oh, right. Okay.
Unlike Sherman's.
And what is it? Is it that symbol there?
It's that one. So it's plus
what,
4.
the one with 2 in?
Yeah, so it's plus 4 and we get a -2 to our roll.
Oh, no, it's that symbol there that means moving fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So,
right, okay.
So it's a tricky shot, I'm afraid. So,
apologies for being rusty, folks. It's been a while since I played Heroes of Normandy.
Well, it's been a short while for me, but embarrassingly
right.
so.
Well,
So we basically only get a +2, so we're going to need a.
You need a high roll.
You need a 6, basically.
High roll.
Oh no, we got a 1, folks. We got a 1, and it didn't end well. So never mind. So it goes back to the Germans now because they have an order on that unit in there. So you wanted to try and suppress Mr. Banks with his flamethrower.
What are their chances? What are the odds here? Can they kill him?
They're probably better off trying to kill him, to be honest. Although it's the same effect. I mean, if they suppress him, it's just as worthwhile in the short term.
Yeah, but what are the percentages? What have they got?
Oh, I'm not good at that sort of maths.
They've obviously got a better chance. So what's their infantry score?
It's +1 either way because they don't have an inherent suppression ability, so they don't double their firepower when they're suppressing.
So it's just a +1 to their roll when they've
Yeah,
got to.
whether-
And what's his defensive? Is it 6?
It's 6 +2 because he's in Bocard, so they're in. Oh, so actually, it's an impossible shot, really, because
yeah.
they can't do it.
Okay.
I mean, they're a bit easier to hit. It's still a really tough shot. But if they roll a 6, they could either suppress or kill that Bren unit.
6 again. That's a tall ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're quite safe where they are, the Brits, aren't they?
Well, yes, that's why I put them in that terrain. I did some things right in this game. Not a lot, but some things.
Why is he hanging back?
Because he's my very valuable officer with 2 command points.
Right.
And he's very good in a fight, but if he dies, I lose 2 command points. And I've already lost one.
He'll be
for
quite
Sherman.
protected in that square, though. Does that protection apply to that square as well?
It does, but I didn't want them to be able to fire at him at all.
Okay.
Because you see, while he's there, they can still shoot at him.
Yes.
Whereas if he's back there, they can't see him at all. So
I mean, whilst not terrible, the Germans' options there aren't fantastic, are they?
not really, no.
I suppose. I know it's a Oh no, that was an impossible shot, isn't it?
Yeah, they'd
They
never
might as well
get...
have a go at that, mightn't they?
Yeah, they might as well try and roll a 6. Are they going to kill him or suppress him?
Oh, what do you reckon? Kill him?
Go for killing.
Go for the coup de grace.
Go for the killing, I'd say. And they didn't do it, thankfully, because I was not ready to lose my Bren.
It was a 4 roll, though.
Yeah. So there we go. The Germans have taken their turn. It's back to us on turn. With our 4th order.
Did the Germans react first?
They do react indeed. Yes. So, okay. Somebody moves. So somebody who hasn't moved yet gets to move. Now, normally, if you follow the hierarchy, heavy vehicles should be given an order first, but I don't think it makes sense for the Stug to go anywhere. You could reverse him back to a defensive position, but there's an annoying universal carrier in the way. So it may not be to the AI's best advantage for him to be given an order. What I would say is, because that tank is intact, a good move might be to get that unit up to bolster the infantry here.
Yeah.
So if we move him 1, 2, 3, or actually 1, 2, 3, he can take cover in that ruined bit of road there. The only downside is the Brits do see him, and he's a decoy. He was spotted by the carrier as he moved, so we know he doesn't really exist. He was in our heads this whole time. Okay, but the Germans also get to place an order.
Yeah, instead of Tiger Fear, it was Panzer Grenadier Fear.
Yeah, now, who should we give the... I mean, you could give it to the Stug if you fancied a bit of target practice.
They don't get moving fire, do they?
They don't, but there's a suppressed Bren unit cowering in the...
Of course, he's got an MG, the Stug, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's got his cannon as well. He can use both.
Okay, yeah. Let's kill the Bren team.
Okay, so the Stug will get an order, and when that has finished its turn, they'll get to carry out their turn.
Swap dice.
So, right, are we just going to try a desperate shot again?
The Germans played that card right at the start of the turn. It means we can't play any cards.
We can't play any cards, no. So we're just going to go... Oh, we rolled a 1 again. Luck is not with us.
Roll.
So, over to the Stug.
Yeah.
Do you want to use the main cannon on those Brits first?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, so it's a +3. 8. You have just blown apart the Bren team. Okay. Well, being terribly... Yes, thank you, Ian. That's very pro-German of you. And actually, his MG now has no target.
Yeah.
Because you have just
one-shotted the Bren team.
You've just one-shotted the Bren team. So there we go. Now, normally that would be the end of the orders phase because the Brits have carried out all their orders. I'll just zoom out, and the
poor old Bren team. They've obviously adopted protocol for an HE attack as in jumping 200 foot in the air and spreading themselves over.
I'm afraid so. Yes. Now, ordinarily we would go through the supply phase and the movement, but I think I'll call it there because this being the last turn of this game, and also because I've ruined it irretrievably by mishandling the movement on the tanks, there's no real point. So thank you, Ian. That was a very, very helpful bit of input. Thank you for all the help you were giving the Germans. Those amazing firing dice rolls particularly compounded my terrible tactical errors from earlier in the game. But so there we go. On that somewhat comedic note, to all of you who are still watching after the abysmal quality of the first 2 videos, a huge thank you for sticking with me on this channel. Apologies for making such a schoolboy mistake with the movement ratings. I will update the descriptions to grovelly say I'm sorry, Sniffle.
I thought really the giveaway really was on the blue symbol was a little arrow going forward.
Absolutely, I have no excuse. I need my eyes checked. I have no excuse whatsoever. So yeah, I will call it there. Thank you all, both my veterans and any newcomers who may have joined us today. All of you are welcome, and thank you for your continuing company. I'll clearly have to do more Heroes of Normandy just to get my head back in this game, because obviously an absence of a month has just completely wrecked my conception of the rules. But until next time, everyone, thank you again, and cheers for tuning in. Bye.